All right, guys. So this is going to be my review of Squid Game. So a lot of people have been talking about the show. I was seeing the trends of it, but I was like, I'm not going to check it out. You know how I do. I don't try to give it a time of day. But here's the thing about me. You always have to give, and when things are trending, it could be a good trend or a bad trend. Plus, this is a good trend because it's a different type of show. It's like it's made in Korea. So in your mind, you're thinking, okay, it's a foreign show. It's not an American show. I always like to support. That's my damn dog with his toy. I always like to support like foreign type of stuff because they don't get the love they deserve. Because there's a lot of good foreign stuff. Like I say, anime is always a gateway to something else, like something magical. Like because when you watch American, it's nothing but superheroes or Grey's Anatomy, just using that for prime example. Those are the shows, or Game of Thrones type of things, or Walking Dead. Those are, the trends of America, which is not bad trends, but you have this type of trend, which is different. The title doesn't really help the show. It really doesn't, because it's weird. It should have been called something else, but I don't know. But what is really, what's really, excuse me, what really captivated this show for me was the fact that it's it's survival of the fittest. It's a game show, but you have to survive. If you're in debt in South Korea, don't be, because these motherfuckers are going to catch you. The people in the pinky you see in the back are part of this organization. This is more run up by government per se, which you could tell. Like if you've seen this stuff before, you know government is behind this because there's no way in hell they're going to let this go for humanity wise. Because I'm sitting there like, there's no way they can let this go. Government's funding this, and people are funding. People with money are funding this. So they play a game. Just a green light. There's like 456. As you clearly see, 456 is the last. Is how many people they get for this game. It's survival to finish. The winner of this game gets $42 million, I believe, or close to that number. It's one of those two, and they have to survive each game. There's like 6 games and they have to survive. First game is red light, green light. They're like, I'm not playing this game. Okay, sure. As soon as he fell, shot, headshot. I'm like, God damn! And it's interesting because you want to see how this is all going to end. Is it 40? Is it 456 going to win? Is 67 going to win? Is 109 going to win? Is it 218? Is it one? I'm like it's really captivating. I really love the show, and I love Korean show. Korean shows have always been underrated to me because I started like watching them a couple years ago, and I started like watching shows that came out years prior to that, and there really are good shows out there. You just have to find them. Lately, though, Netflix have been dubbing them, so they've been dubbing these shows, which has really helped the popularity of a lot of these shows because of the dub. I'm not a fan of their dub sometimes because it doesn't match with the lip sync. However, let me say this again: I'm getting old in my age. Dubbing does help because I'm reading. I'm not want to read. Hell, when it comes to anime now, I barely want to read them unless it's something really hot. If it catches my interest. This really would caught my interest, but I don't say go into the hype, believe the hype. I mean, I love this thing from top to bottom. There was another one I did a review on called Ace Borderlands. That's a Japanese version they did, a Japanese version of sudden life and death type of game show too. That one's very good too. I think this one's a little bit more better because it's a little bit more. It's like you actually start to develop more with these characters. Like 456, you start to understand his backstory. 67, you feel sad for her because you understand her backstory. And then there's something happen in the episode where she really just breaks down a little bit because it involves her in another number. 109 and 218, there's something between those two where it's like, okay, like a older brother dynamic, and it's just it's sad. It's sad. It's really sad. The way it ended, they could be a season two, which they could be, but I don't know. For me, the story's not wrapped. If they're going to continue it for another 2 seasons, which they should do three or one, I think two more to wrap up the full story, which makes sense to me. Um, because this organization, they can keep going with it or shutting down because apparently they're not going to get the same. This is one of these animes where you like, not animes, like Korean dramas where it's like it's going to reuse new cast members because everybody in this picture here, 99% spoiler alert, do die because it's the game. It's how it is. It's a Squid Game. So yeah, my rating for the show. Um, 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. There's certain things I didn't like because there's like a story with one of the characters. He's a cop. He infiltrates the organization, but nothing really comes from that in a way, which is weird. So that one I kind of didn't like that story plot. If that was tightened up a little bit better, and maybe got an 8.5 or a 9. Um, and then it left me at the cliffhanger, which I'm not a big fan of. But everything else was good. I loved it. I loved the game. The dialogue between the characters was good. You could see like it sucks for one of the characters. Like one of the characters like literally does not want to deal with it, and you could see it. Um, and then one of the characters got fucked and betrayed, and it was dirty, and I laughed. And yeah, there's some parts where I laughed too. It's an interesting show. I could say that. So. But as always, guys, like, subscribe, peace. If you've seen Squid Game, tell me below what you think of it. It's one of Netflix's hidden gems, I say. Go check it out.